Hello YouTubers, this is Victoria with Vicky's Creations. This is part 2 of how to make a hat. As you may remember, in our first video we did the chain 5, then we slip stitched to make a magic ring, and then we did our either half doubles or our double crochets inside of that magic ring, and then we slip stitched to the first stitch that we started with to make a ring. And then this is what we ended up with, which I hope you can see it. And of course you're going to have a tail. This is normal. But this is where we ended, right here. So we do have this little hole, and that's where I showed you on here that's where you started. And this is the first part of the expansion. So since I did 10 half double crochets inside of my magic ring, the next row is going to be 2 half double crochets in each of the stitches all the way around, and then you're going to join with a slip stitch like you did with the first row. And so what you're going to do is you're going to chain 1, you do your loop around, and in fact let me show you what a double crochet looks like just right quick, and then I'll pull out a stitch. A double crochet is when you do the same steps, you pull through, but instead of pulling this stitch all the way through to the these 3 stitches on here, you're going to pull it through two of them, then you have 2 on here, and pull it through 2 again, and that's a double crochet. Of course, I told you I'm not using double crochets, I'm using half double crochets. So what I mean by doing 2 in each stitch, you can kind of sort of see in between each of these, it's like a little wheel with spokes. So you're going to do, and of course this chain 1 is considered a half double crochet or double crochet, whatever you're using. So we're not going to do 2 in this first one, we're just going to do 1. But in this next one, you're going to do 2 inside of there, because this is the expansion part of the hat. And the idea of expanding the hat is to make it to where it's going to fit the crown of the head. So when you get that expanded out enough and it fits perfectly there, that's when we're going to start just extending it to where it's going to fit on your head like a hat. So remember when we started with the 10, we're going to have 20 when we're done because we're doubling it. So you might need to move things around a little bit. Sometimes it is kind of hard to see in between these little spokes to be able to put your stitches in there. But you can move things around, nothing's going to go anywhere. Don't be afraid of the yarn. And just keep going until you get to the end. And some people like to take, like, if you have another color yarn, or like a contrasting color, some people do like to take that and stick that in your first stitch just so you know where it's at, but it's kind of obvious to see where it is, where your new row is starting. I never use it unless I'm doing like stuffed animals or something where it's got really tight stitches and it's kind of hard to see. Hats, I don't think you don't need that. So what I mean is you just take a little piece of a different colored yarn and just thread it through. It's not going to cause anything. You can pull it out later whenever you're done. See if we can finish this. Get all of your stitches in there. Looking on the sides of the wheel will also help you know where the stitches are. You can tell by the edges where these stitches are that you need to do your 2 half double crochets through. Now we are at the end. We are back where we started, and just like that first row, we're going to stick this through here and slip stitch, and there you go. That is your second row. So our first row was our foundation to let us know how many or what size hat we want to have, and I picked 10 for an adult, and then from there we slip stitched, chain 1, and then did 2 half double crochets in each of these stitches, and then joined to the very first stitch that we started in that row. Simple. And stick around because we're going to do row 3 in the next video.